Hello guys, how y'all doing? Mimi is here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about this one game I just played. And the thing is, the way that I stumbled upon this game was a bit it was a bit of like a very quickie thing. Saw it on YouTube, thought it was interesting, did some digging, and I thought, hey, I kind of like that. So the game that I'm about to tell you is a game called Room Number 9, and this is a game, an Atome game from Japan, released in Japan in 2017, 16, and then released to the, globally in 2020. So that was like 5 years ago, and I'm just discovering it now because I guess the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm god, it was just sending me a message like, hey, try this one out, see if you might like it. And indeed I freaking like it. So first thing first, disclaimer, this game is a little bit risque. Like, it's very very R-rated. Anybody under 18, probably best to stay clear from this game because it was like not for the faint heart. So I guess for those who already played the game and thought, yeah, I want to see other people review about it, so here's my review about Room Number 9. The plot was so simple. Two very best friends called Seiji and Daichi went on an Okinawan trip together. So apparently Daichi has just been left by his girlfriend, who wanted to go to Okinawa for whatever reasons. And shortly before he even get to do that, she broke up with him out of nowhere, and he was like very sad about it. So of course he calls Seiji to console him, because this is the thing that they do. Like, every time Daichi is on a pickle, Seiji will come and just, give him a shoulder, an ear to lean on and to hear his problems and whatnot. And it works both ways, because they were very best friends. And there's a lot of like backstory, which I loved about this game, despite it being a boys' love. Actually, I wouldn't even call it that, because, based on what I experienced with the game, it's more geared towards the hentai stuff. So I went on a bar in which Dicey said, let's go to Okinawa together. What do you think about it? And Seiji was like, okay, sure. And then Daichi was like, hey, hold on, why don't you just go with your girlfriend? Because, he thought that since it would be too pathetic for two guys to just go on this trip together. Seiji dropped the bomb. Basically, he said, you know what, I broke up too. And Daichi was like, really? Why don't I know anything about this? And Seiji was like, you know it is. If I wanted to paint you guys the picture about these two guys, is that Daichi is more like a laid back, carefree guy, but also he's very kind, very sweet. Meanwhile, Seiji was a little bit uptight, but not too much. He was very kind too, very smart. He went to a law school, and he actually did pass his exam earlier than Daichi, who is training to become a teacher, an elementary teacher, which is like, oh, I never heard of that. It's quite interesting. Because normally when, you have these two dudes, one of them, of course, is going to be smart, and the other one would be like having whatever jobs. But yeah, in this case, Daichi wanted to become a teacher, which is like, to me, it was like, oh, okay, interesting. Interesting choice of career, I guess. So anyway, after they decided, they went to go shopping together for their upcoming trips. Of course, Daichi picks some cheap stuff because he could not afford them. He's an orphan who's working part-time and taking student loans in order to get to university and to get, all the things going for him. Everything he wanted, basically, he have to work for it. Meanwhile, Seiji was raised by a family of, I think his dad is a bureaucrat or something. So a very well-adjusted family. That's why I guess he's super collected, super smart and everything. So you can see the differences between these two, but for whatever reasons, they kind of like complete each other in terms of friendship. Basically, if you're talking about friendship, theirs is like at 100. You know, the goal is there. Like they supported each other when in need. They listens, they care, and you know they never like turn their backs on each other. So that's basically the premise of this whole thing. I mean, until the Okinawan trip, right? So anyway, they finally get into a plane, and then get into this bus to get to their hotel. But on their way there, something happened. It wasn't revealed how it happened, but the moment that they both awake, I think Daichi wake up first. He realized that he was in this like a hotel room, but he found it something weird, you know, something weird, in which he remembers when he first made the reservation for the hotel, it was supposed to have a twin beds because, you know, he thought, you know, out of like safety reasons mainly, you know, one of them could get sick, and then so that the other ones should, you know, don't have to stay with the sick person, so it would be much safer, you know, to have some distance. But when they arrive to this, you know, certain hotels, somehow the twin bed has transformed into a queen or maybe king size bed, you know. So there's only like one bed in the middle of the freaking room. And he thought to himself, this is quite weird. Like, first of all, how did I get here? Second of all, why is the bed is not a twin size bed? And finally, why does everything feels like out of place? Like, I mean, how do we actually get here? So, I mean, all of these questions kind of like enters Daichi's mind, and then shortly after, Seiji wakes up, and even he felt a bit strange about the whole thing. And what's even more stranger is that the windows that they have in the room doesn't actually show any scenery from the outside, like the real scenery of like beaches, Okinawa beach or whatever. It was just mainly a projection, you know, like somebody put a big ass monitor there and then shoot up a beach, which is not actually a beach, but just like a projection of it. And they were like, what the hell is this? Like, this is not what I signed up for. And they quickly realized that something is really, really wrong. And that's when something pops out from the monitor, TV monitor. It's kind of like I guess a welcoming sign saying welcome to the la la la, and then we are conducting a research at you know, something that we wanted to collect from both of you, basically. So there's like a set of rules. There's a lot of pages there. I'm not gonna go through all of them. Even I skip ahead because I was like, wow, this is too much. But in summary, in nutshell, what they aimed for, you know, in the hotel is that they were actually being kind of like held hostage. Like they cannot leave. Any attempt to leave would be futile, which is why I don't even try, because there's even like videos showing what would happen if you try to escape, or what would happen if you don't want to do any of these things that we're going to instruct you to do. So they were like reading this intently and everything, and I finally realized that the video is pretty much real. There's a video of people, you know, another person, and finally they hit the freaking I guess manual by saying the only way to leave from this place is by completing all the tasks and collecting all the points required, or one of you ended up dead. So knowing that and seeing all the videos, of course Daichi and Seiji was like, okay, so this is what we have to do in order to survive here. So we're not in the, you know, we're not in our hotel. This is somewhere else. We're being kidnapped. So this is the thing that they, you know, our kidnappers wants us to do, and to complete whatever experiments they're trying to do. So, okay. And they were very like anxious about the assignment that's going to be assigned to them, which I thought by this time while I was playing the game, I was like, okay, all right, this is where it gets interesting, huh? Because the thing is, I mean, for me personally, I really love it when a game or a storyline only involves two people. Like anything other than that, I just don't care. Like if you have like a harem of a woman or a man competing each other's affection or what, you lost my interest there. But whenever you know, the characters, the main characters, there's only two of them, that's where I feel like, yes. I mean, my focus group is now here. It's just these two people. I don't have to care about anyone else. It's just them and them only. And so I guess that's kind of like, you know, one of the main pool why I decided to play this game is because I really love the two persons interaction. Yeah, I really love those, and I rarely get that. Usually it was like, you know, one or two, maybe a triangle or something, but this one it was like just two of them. It's just two of them against this whatever experiments that's being conducted on them. So anyway, the first task was pretty I guess tame for what's about to come. So basically they either have to relieve themselves, like subject A have to relieve subject B, or they have to draw blood or something. And of course, obviously they choose the second one, which is to draw the blood, because you know a human cannot die from drawing a blood. You know, you can just think it like a blood donation or something. And they did that, and of course, upon completing the task, they got 10 points. So in order for them to get out of there, they have to completed the task and collected until 100 points, and then redeem it at the very end. So this is where it gets tricky, you know, because after the first task, the second day was a little bit different. Like you can see the level of intensity of the game increases by 2 bar. Like, you know, for example, it's no longer drawing blood, but instead hurting the other person with a very precise measurement, like how much you wanna, you know. And I was pretty I mean, it sent shivers to my spine basically when I read that, because I was like, dang, that was too much for a person to bear. And then the first one is even worse, because now it was like, okay, you're still gonna you're still gonna relieve this other person. Like that's the only options that we have here for you. So obviously they go with the first one because they cannot do the second one. It was too brutal and gruesome. So they did the first one, yeah. And relieving the other person when you two are just, you know, the best of friends, it was awkward as hell. And the scene was pretty long, like almost 9 minutes long, or maybe more. Because that's the thing with all the you know, the sexy scenes, it was always 9 minutes to 14 minutes, and it was like I don't want to complain, but I'm just saying this is pretty interesting, you know. The scenes were longer. I guess it's just probably to make some impact on you, like to see the severity of the deeds. Like this is happening in real time. This is happening. This is what's going on. And while I was watching that, I don't know. I have some feels, not gonna lie. But none of them could have like prepared me for the next task, which is the task for day 3. You know, because you know once they did that, of course, collect the points. Now the next day was even more brutal. Like there's a lot of, like, I guess there's a lot of like toys involved, you know, sexual things. And when it comes to sexual things, there's a lot of like toys involved, which I was like, what the hell is that? And then as for the hurting part, was still the same. It was still as intense as before, because you know they didn't select that thing yesterday, so now you can select it for this next day. Do you want to? You can. Obviously, for most of the, I guess, choices that I made up to that, I didn't really choose the hurting route because I thought that would be too damaging for a person to bear. So we just go with the sexual ones. And I kid you not, I'll try to paint any pictures here, but basically for each task, the treatment towards subject B, which is Seiji, by the way, forgot to mention this. Seiji gets all of it. Basically all the sexual stuff he got and all the hurting stuff Daichi gets. So I mean, I don't know if I can pick a favorite, but maybe I can because you know they only have like 6 endings for this thing, like ending A, B, C, D, E, and F. So I tell you guys, my favorite endings without diving too much into the sexual parts, sexual scenes, because I thought if you wanted to see that scenes, you can just go on see yourself. But I just want to talk about the endings, you know, the routes they were going. So I did all the tasks and I completed, and they escaped from the place. And the first ending that I got was ending D. And I think most of people who plays this game, they most probably will get D. Basically, Seiji and Daichi, they just drifted apart because of this soul experience. So I was very upset about that. Because I was like, I thought their, you know, friendship was stronger than this. So I was very upset. So I decided to just go back to get a different ending. So I decided to go on the pathway of like ending A, which is, to me, was like, I know it's gonna be brutal, but I never expected it to be that brutal. So the first half was just, I guess you can say Daichi gets a little bit turns on and go overboard, which understandable because he was being, you know, subjected to do this to Seiji almost every single freaking day at this point. So of course it's gonna invoke some feelings in him. Now that part I get, you know, pent up emotion and feelings. I get it, totally get it. But what I don't get is that the second half was just too crazy to me. It wasn't believable, you know. Like, I feel like they're just doing this for like the sake of like glorifying or something. And it's so hard to watch the first it's so hard to watch ending A. Like the last few freaking minutes of it was just torture and hell to me, because you know Daichi loves and respects Seiji, and so does Seiji. So it's almost impossible to imagine that he would do that to his friend, you know, like treating him in that manner and so disrespect. Like I hate ending A completely. I really hate it. I like the first half, but I hate it. So decided to just like, okay, I hate this ending, freaking hate it. Let's go to C or B now. So I realized ending B was a bit too much. So I thought, okay, let's hold on. I don't want to do ending B first. Let's go do ending C. Now ending C, supposedly they were start feeling the room and start doing it more, and then never want us to leave it. You know, never wants to leave the room. And this is the ending that gives me so many feels in my heart that I was almost like, I almost wanted to love it. But also at the same time, I feel like it is unrealistic. Because here's the thing. So ending C was just, the build up and everything was beautiful because they kind of like both want it, you know? They both want it. They both start feeling things, and because, you know, Daichi starts to have these thoughts about Seiji, and so does Seiji apparently, and it was almost crazy not to admit to it. And I think this is also the first time that I listens to, I think, Seiji's train of thoughts, because beforehand it's always like Daichi's point of view, you know, like what he's feeling at the time, what was he thinking, like about the food, the meals, and the tasks, and what does he feel after he did those things to his friends, his best friends. He keeps reminding himself like, Seiji is my best friend, Seiji is the handsome Seiji, whatever, like I don't know how he thinks. It's always like that. And then suddenly we have some Seiji's point of view, especially in the bathroom, because there's a couple of like, you know, choices you can do there, and in one of my choices we get to see that Seiji is spending so much time in the bathroom, but we don't know what he does in there until this third choice come around, which is ending C, in which Seiji was actually trying to relieve himself in the bathroom, because apparently after doing one of the tasks, I guess the liquid got spiked, and therefore he was feeling it basically. So it was quite hard for him to just like shake it off until he, so I guess he was relieving himself in the bathroom. And there's a couple of like alternatives to that too. Like for example, first of all, we got his point of view, how he's feeling, what he's doing, and then I think in ending A, Daichi suddenly barged in. He saw Seiji in that state, and he's just like, you know what, let me help out, and it's just escalate from there and then go downhill from there. That's for ending A. But for ending C, it was like basically, I think they both wanted like so bad, and I was like, okay, this scene sort of makes sense, but it doesn't give me butterflies until the morning after, in which they hug each other. Like Daichi was hugging Seiji from behind, and it just, in a weird way, it feels right, it feels right. And then they keep doing it until they even forgot to get out of the room, which is like so sad and super unrealistic, because eventually they're just gonna lose the point. If they don't do the task, they're gonna lose the point, and then who knows what might happen to them in that room, right? But I sort of understand it. Ending C was pretty cool to me. I don't hate it as much as ending A. So I thought to myself, okay, so I sort of hate ending D and A, sort of like ending C, not really ready for ending B, in which, by the way, Daichi ended up, unalive his friend there. I don't think my heart was ready to see that, because I just want to see what else they can do here. My head instantly aimed for another route, which is a safer route, I guess. So I decided to go for the route E. So ending E was basically, I think the most, ending E and ending F was pretty similar. In terms of the route and the task they needed to do, the order was the same, but it was the ending that was a bit different. So I'm just gonna tell you guys how we get to the ending. Like first, the task. I think it was, I guess, almost perfect under those circumstances, because we have the blood drawing thing, and then the relieving oneself thing, and then they hurt each other thing again, and then of course you cannot escape the sexual stuff, so still have to do it. But it was the moment in the bathroom that really gets to me, in which of course they spike the thing, and then Seiji have to relieve himself, but he couldn't do it on his own, so Daichi steps in and help his friend out. And this is the part where I was like crying, because I was like, I can see how deep their friendship is, that he was ready to throw in everything, like anger, shame, maybe even lust, to just help a friend out. Like, of course, I don't like the laundry part. I don't like that at all. It's humiliating, debasing him. I don't like that one bit, but I have to go through with it because I want to see the what happened in the bathroom, because I feel like that's like make it or break it scene in this game. Like, if you want to know like what's gonna happen after they leave the room, you watch the scene in the bathroom, like how passionate or how distracted or whatever they are in that bathroom. And to me, I feel like Daichi coming in, helping his friend out, but at the same time trying to take care of himself too, was just, I guess it just makes sense, after being in that situation for, I guess, almost like 10 days with your friend, your best friend, subjugated to a lot of things, and now you're gonna catch some feelings, either you like it or not. When it comes to things like this, of course you're gonna catch some feelings. And what breaks me, like, I never thought I'm gonna cry in a BL otome games before, but yeah, this one did. I cried when Daichi cried out. Like, he was like, I cannot believe that I did that to you. Like, I cried at that scene. I was like, the moment Daichi breaks down crying because he did that to his friend, like, he thought not a million years to do that to Seiji. In fact, he was like imagining, like, one day we're gonna have kids and have our own family, maybe we drifted apart, but to do that with you, never in a million years would I have imagined that. And they did that, mutually agreeing to do that. And it was like, when Seiji breaks down crying, that's when it really hits me that they both don't want it to happen, but it happened. So what to do now? But it happened. So they did it once, and they never talk about it again, which I thought befitting, because if you want to stay friends with your best friend, you don't want to keep doing that. I mean, unlike ending C, where they did it in the toilet, and then the morning after they wake up, they did it again. Like, that's when I feel like all the boundaries are being crossed. Like, if you feel like you're forced to do something, it's best not to do it again, because if you do it again, then it must, there'll be a mixed signal there, it feels like. So I like the fact that they don't do it again. They just leave whatever they did in the bathroom and get the F out of there. And so once they complete the task, now they are able to leave. Now this is the part where the ending is a bit different for E and F. So I saw for ending E, Daichi went to the police alone. Meanwhile, Seiji just went backpacking somewhere for God knows where, to God knows how long. But yeah, they never saw each other again after that, weirdly enough. So I thought that was a bit sad. Ending E was a bit sad to me, because I feel like, oh no, I don't want this. I want them to just, still be friends even after all of that, because I think they did a great job when they didn't, do it again the next morning after they left the bathroom. They just left it there and never spoke about it again. So I thought I'd go back and try to get ending F, and it's the same route, the same thing. Did it in bathroom, and then finally, when it comes to either go to the police or go home together, they go home together, which I thought was the only way to go through with it. Like, you go there, because in my head, I feel like Daichi and Seiji went to Okinawa together, so it only makes sense if they left the place together. And I think they even get like some compensation, about like 1 million yen in return. Of course, Daichi doesn't want to take it because he was afraid like there would be implication, but then Seiji thought, you know what, it's a free money, let's just save it. It's untraceable anyway, let's just save it, we might need it later, whatever. So they decided to save the compensation money and then went home together. So this is the moment that I thought very solidifies their friendship. Like, even after all of these stupid ordeals, that I thought, yeah, they are gonna be friends, like, for life. Because Daichi was still slightly affected by the whole thing, so he nudged on Seiji just to make sure that he was still there, and Seiji was like nudged back because, I'm here, like, to signal him that I'm still here, don't worry about it. And Daichi breaks down crying. Seiji didn't say anything, but this moment right here to me was just the reason why I decided to pick up this this game at the first place. It's not about the R-rated scenes. Like, I mean, it's a bonus to me, but it's the connection, the deep connection that they have as friends that really, really, really makes me think picking up this game is a good choice. And I think anybody who has ever have any doubts about picking up this game because of the racy contents and whatnot, you just have to look past that, because it's all at the end of the day, it's all about their friendship. Can it survive, or will it collapse during all of this? Like, if it collapses, then whatever they have, it must not be genuine to begin with. But if it stands the test of time, then the friendship is genuine. And that's why when Daichi asked, will I see you again? And Daichi just smiled and said, yeah. Seiji smiled and said, yeah, we'll meet again. And This is just beautiful, and I believe this is like the true ending for this game, which to me was like, yes, this is the reason why I stayed. This is the reason why I endured all of those scenes, no matter how gruesome, no matter how debasing, no matter how angry I get at some of them, because it was just basically Seiji getting the worst kind of deal. But we cannot put that on Daichi too, because yeah, it was horrible. I mean, if he got hurt, it would be too horrible. He lost blood, probably dying from an infection. Like, we cannot have that. So of course all this sexual stuff needs to happen, but at what cost? Sometimes Seiji, like, can feeling it, not feeling it, hating it, loving it, we don't know, because there's so many like combination you can get from this game. So I truly believe that ending F is the true ending, and I wanted to believe that their friendship is, stays after that, because it will be too sad to see like years and years friendship being built get destroyed only just by this 10 days ordeal. It would be so sad to see that. So when I finally finished that, I realized that, oh, I still haven't gotten that ending B, which was like Daichi unalive Seiji, and I was like, okay, I guess I have to see this now that I'm assured that their relationship was like untouchable. Okay, untouchable. So decided to finally see the cursed ending B, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I think ending A was even crazier than that. Like, so horrible. I feel like I want to rinse my eyes with bleach or something after watching ending A. I feel like ending A should be burned in hell for eternity. Could not believe they did that to Seiji, but ending. Okay, ending B. I don't think Daichi come on to Seiji. I think it was the other way around. Like, Seiji was feeling it, so he come out from the bathroom and start doing things to Daichi. But then he felt embarrassed by it and tried to unalive Daichi. But he could not do it because that's not him, that's not him as a person. That's not his principle and belief. So he could not do it. But Daichi, for whatever reason, starts to feel like, it's okay, Seiji. If you can't do it, I'll help you. Instead of unaliving himself, he did that to Seiji. And then, of course, after he did that, he was released. But now he have to go on with his life without Seiji by his side, his best friend by his side. Which, to me, this is even more melancholy than the first one, or the ending D that I first got, which they went to their separate ways. That I never wanted that for both of them. So ending B was pretty far-fetched to me. I guess is one way to put it. Far-fetched. Like, why do you suddenly feel the needs to do that? It's just unnecessary, I feel like. But yeah, if I can rate all the endings, like all these 6 endings, I would say I love the last one. I think ending F was just the way it should be. But of course, they have to do it, and they did it, but they don't have to keep on doing it after the whole thing was done, because that's not who they are. Who they are was best friends who admire each other's traits, because it is said in the game that as much as Daichi admires Seiji's bravery to come to the police to save him when he was little, and always encouraging him to study when nobody was telling him to do that, but instead Seiji was like, no, you have to study harder, let me help you, here's the reference book and whatever. So does Seiji. Seiji admires Daichi's openness. Like, he was very quick to make friends. Like, they admire each other's traits so much. So I was like, I love that. I feel like, yes, ending F takes the cake. They go home together. That's all I wanted for them. It's not, I guess, the perfect ending in which they become a couple or whatever, because I feel like they both are straight guys to begin with. Like, there's no indication that one of them are, bisexual in their former life, because they both have girlfriends. Seiji less than Daichi, but they have girlfriends, so they are straight people being forced to do obscene things. So I thought it's befitting, the one that he goes to police, but then Seiji went to somewhere else. I like the first everything, from the beginning to towards the end, but going to the police alone was just like a no-no to me. So then I also sort of like ending C. I mean, if I can rate it, ending C was pretty unrealistic, but as far as passion and lust goes, I think this one takes the cake. I think everything about it was just beautiful. Like they both wanted it, and they decided that we keep wanting this, So they keep on doing it, and it's just the way it is, Everything stays still in that place, in ending C. So that's okay. Ending D. As much as I hate to admit that, because it was the first ending that I ever got from this game, it does make sense in a way. Like, how would you look at your friend's face ever again after doing all those things to him? So it makes sense that they just went to their separate ways, because who wants to relive that? Like, if you look at your your friend's face, or your friend's hands, just reminded about all the things that you did with him. So it makes sense in a way, but for this game, I would hate that, because I feel like their friendship are far more stronger than that. So ending D was in the 4th place. Okay, so this one, ending B and ending A, like between these two, who take the bottom, the bottom place? I think I would have to go with ending A. I hate ending A with my complete soul. I feel like it was only done there for like fan service or something, for people who like such things. Like, I think it's out of character. It was too much, unnecessary, and I hate it. I will never go back to look at that again. It's just debasing to Seiji. I could not do that. So I guess that's left ending B. Runner place, second last placed. So it doesn't make any sense to me. Why does he have to unalive Seiji? It doesn't make any sense. Out of embarrassment? You're not even giving him like a choice. Like, he was not thinking straight. Why do you have to unalive him right then and there? And like, ask him 2 days later, maybe he have different different answers then, I feel like it's premature, is what I can say. So there you have it. My whole experience playing room number 9. I honestly won't judge anybody who tried to pick up the game. I think this game is good in determining how much you feel about these characters. Like, are you invested? Are you not? Maybe you just like all the racy stuff. But to me, it was all about their friendship. At the end of the day, what is best for the friendship? Because I don't think, like I said, the scenes was bonus to me. It was just fun. But also at the same time, can they survive this? And according to ending F, they did survive this, and I freaking love that. So that's the true ending. Nothing can I would not say otherwise. But I do enjoy the other endings as well, especially ending C, because it was so passionate. I love it. The way that the build up was super passionate, to the point that I was like, it feels like watching a real like relationship being painted in the real time. It feels like it's so weird. This game is making me feel a lot of things, but there you have it. So I have a couple more games, Otome games I wanted to play. Maybe I'll talk to you guys about that soon, because I did play a lot of Otome games so far. Don't know why, but I'm so struggling with Tengoku's Tri-Side. I don't know why. It's just so hard for me to like the game. I don't know why. It's been months, guys. It's been months. I cannot finish it. I don't know why. But this one, I finished in just 2 days, because the storyline was so gripping. I was like, I got to know, did they ever make it out? Oh, they even have, after I finished the game, I watched some of the I guess clippings, audio clippings from the voice actor that plays the game, that acted in the game, and I discovered that because you know, between these two, I must say I'm very impressed with Seiji's voice actor's performance. Like, it was super realistic. Like, I felt like I was in the room with him while he was doing like, all this thing, and you know, he did give like some insight about the characters and how that this is his first job. So you know, he was just figuring things out too. Like, he was super pure, innocent, and he doesn't know what he was doing. But you know, it shows. It shows because you know, this is also Seiji's first experience about this whole thing, and also the parallel in that was just cute to me. And as for Daichi's voice actor, I thought he did pretty good job, but unfortunately, I didn't see him in much of like voice actor works after that. After this one, like this is like I feel like the big thing that he does, and then he kind of like stops for whatever reasons, which is quite a shame because he sounded so good, very youthful, very happy and whatnot. And I don't know. I mean, hearing them talk about this game really helps in, I guess, desensitizing me from the whole experience. Like, okay, it's just actor playing the whatever. I mean, it's fictionist. It's a fiction character, so you don't have to feel super sorry for it. But also, what would happen if it's, you know, happens in real life? What would you do? I enjoy playing this game so much. Will I go back anytime soon? Probably not. Like, I have all those image. Unfortunately, all those Seiji's and Daichi's image imprinted in my head right now. I don't feel like reliving that anytime soon. But as far as the rating goes, I think I'll give this game 8.1 out of 10. And I realized they're using Renpei, right, to create the game. Because I was trying to create my own games, and I noticed some of the features there. I was like, this is from Renpei, I think. They're using Renpei's software to create this. It's very, I guess, simple, but works. And all of those CGs helps. Like, really helps. There's a lot of them, variations of them. And it's not easy to do, you know? Because I toggle upon it myself, you know, creating my own visual novels, and it was so hard. Like, there are so many visuals in this at different stages of their emotions, different CGs, and it was like, oof. I think they have about like over 1,000 CGs, which is like super impressive to me. Like, I was like, wow, with 1,200 CGs, that's amazing. I could never. Anyway, so that's it, guys, for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope I can see you guys soon on my next video. I don't know what kind of video I'll make. I guess I just make whatever videos that speaks to me. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as usual, see you soon on my next one.